Amani binti Muhammad Noor. My metric number is 278778, and for the introduction, in this study we analyzed that Gloria Jeans Coffee in Malaysia, which has the largest store in the world, and Gloria Jeans Coffee Malaysia has involved its gourmet coffee operations over more than 20 years in the market, giving the industry the biggest worthy, best goods and the strongest service. For the summary, Gloria Jeans Coffee began in Chicago around 1979, managed by Ed and Gloria Jeans Kiko. And after 25 years and 360 branches, GJC's owner, Dietrich Coffee, plans to sell the company's franchisee. Following that, the master franchisee in Australia was successfully sold to Nabi Saleh for 60 million after many deals offers were made. And Saleh managed to have the rights all the GJC, including the 146 branches in Puerto Rico and the United States, where Dietrich Rico has the right to operate without having to pay the franchise royalty. So in 2010, the owner of GJC sold all of his holdings and additional 102 branches in 24 states in the United States to Saleh.
My franchise Sdn Bhd and PNS. Sharul Azlan is the CEO of My Franchise Sdn Bhd, was browsing a franchise exposition in Singapore in the middle of 2005. He went there for official purpose to research new potential franchise for My Franchise. Prior to his encounter with GJC officer at the exhibition that started the process, Perbadanan Nasional Berhad, or as we known as PNS, a government organisation under the Ministry of Entrepreneur and Cooperative Development. They are responsible for promoting the local franchise business in accordance with the 9 Malaysian strategies, and My Franchise is the franchising division. So, collaboration between Gloria Jeans Coffee and My Franchise succeed and has branches in Malaysia and Brunei at the end of 2006. Interruption My Franchise create more Bumiputra franchisee and change of work to all people for supplying food and beverage.
Assalamualaikum. I'm Muhammad Farid Shazwan. My metric number 270126. So I would like to continue my part, which is another side of the coins, the Tan Brothers. In 2009, Berjaya Group annual income was RM 2.93 billion. This company is also known as one of the most successful business conglomerate in Malaysia, including domestic and foreign business. The F&B industry is also no exception in holding the right to operate, such as San Francisco Steakhouse, Wendy's Crispy Creamy Donut, Papa John's Pizza and Starbucks Coffee. Next, the company acted quickly after realizing there was a growing positive trend in the gourmet coffee market. Immediately after this increase, Berjaya Group managed to open the first Starbucks Coffee branch after successfully establishing a joint venture with Starbucks Coffee International in a location known as Kuala Lumpur Golden Triangle. Next, I will pass to next presenter.
My name is Nodiana Izzati binti Muhammad. My metric number 276884. Competitors Starbucks Coffee and Coffee Bean are direct rivals of GJC. They have more locations than GJC has in Malaysia, where GJC only has 30 locations compared to their 115 and 54. Starbucks Coffee has the largest market share among gourmet coffee brand companies. The premium coffee market in Malaysia is highly competitive. International recognized brands are fighting with one another for Malaysia's additional market share. In malls and high areas of Kuala Lumpur and other large cities, head-to-head confrontation between these franchises are common.
Next is challenge. While the franchising business model can be profitable for both franchisors and franchisees, it also has the potential to expand or endure in the current unstable economic climate. Challenges can be seen from local and international aspects. From local, the first one, to continue to compete in the same industry. The second one, how to choose and bring in the best franchise. Later on, most prospective franchisees who contact my franchise require business acumen. And lastly, most of the properties will be occupied by Gloria Jeans Coffee's rivals long before the actual building starts or will be made available to them directly. And next, from international. From present-day global economy, many firms are facing pressure from increased raw material costs and cautious customer spending due to current global economic concerns.
So for question 1, why do you think the TJC entered an agreement with TG and what were the motivation and driving forces behind it? So in my point of view, TJC has entered into the agreement with TG since the TG has the large FMB operation in Malaysia, which may greatly improve the GJC's brand awareness in the marketplace. And TTG has also managed 10 years of business in Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei and also the Thailand. TTG has also owned a number of mostly Chinese restaurants in United States and Malaysia, including the Four Seasons restaurant, and this restaurant were well known as Chinese restaurant franchise that specialize on Malaysia Chinese cuisine. Aside from Penang and Johor Bahru, TTG chose the most popular location in Malaysia to run the GJC. And GJC may benefit from this in terms of workforce, varied customers base and other factors. For instance, develop in majority of its GJC store in Klang Valley will benefit of choosing the most metropolitan locations to run the company include, for example, a larger workforce than a small town or city. Furthermore, the workforce could include more diverse talents. For example, this can considerably assist the company organization's efforts to expand and enhance its operation. And secondly, metropolitan areas also with a broad client base generally have a diversified cultural basis.
So, question number 2. What were the underlying benefits for Gloria Jeans Coffee to enter into the agreement with my franchise? So, as we know, starting a business in Malaysia can occasionally be challenged, especially for a new coming person. In Malaysia, franchise opening increasingly popular because it is a way to build entrepreneurship to achieve personal and professional goals more quickly within less risk. Malaysian government have located franchise industry in arm of Perbadanan Nasional Berhad (PNS) under the Ministry of Entrepreneur and Cooperative Development. Based on the franchise statistic, there are showing increasement of 6% from total annual retail sale. So, there are 3 benefits that Gloria Jeans Coffee will get. First, they will have access to an experienced management team through my franchise, and new hires are being made directly for franchise to help the management. Second, PNS also will build an academy to make sure that all prospective franchisee and franchisor are well equipped and well prepared to handle the obstacle the franchising industry. The third one, PNS will provide a financial loan of business of PNS potential candidates. They provide a loan with low interest rate. There are some good benefit if Gloria Jeans Coffee collaboration with my franchise.
Okay, now I will continue for the questions 3. Location is the best place to sell a business. Every industry main objective of an either distribution plan or location is to draw customer in and make it easy for them to buy. Retailers spend a lot of money on ideal site. The owner must choose the right place to dominate before the rival does. Business owner need to consider location, accessibility, visibility and traffic as well as other factors. It is also important to consider how effectively the region is served by public transit and whether consumer or delivery vehicle can reach business location quickly. In addition, there should be sufficient parking space for customer. Access to business must be easy for both supplier and customer. to choose a site where the target customer are in the business area regularly. The target customer should be taken into account. The location of the business must take into account the type of business adjacent to see if it is compatible with the enterprise. As an illustration, Gloria Jeans Coffee should be located next to a shopping center or a larger company because its target population can help it to the best result. The company competitive growth is also important to consider when choosing a location for a firm. Retailer must consider whether their location will lead to future business growth or serve in demand. Next, I will pass to next presenter.
Question 4. From your point of view, why did the entry mode of GJC differ from Starbucks? In my view, Starbucks admission procedure is different from GJC because Starbucks does not have a franchise in Malaysia. Business tycoon Tan Sri Dato' Vincent Tan Chee Yon, whose Berjaya Group is regarded as one of Malaysia's most prosperous conglomerates, is the owner of Starbucks Malaysia. When Berjaya Group noticed a rising favorable trend in the market for specialty coffee, it reacted quickly. By the end of 1998, Berjaya Group opened its first location in KL Plaza Mall, in the center of Kuala Lumpur's Golden Triangle, through Berjaya Starbucks Coffee Company Sidin Berhad, which is jointly owned by Starbucks Coffee International and Berjaya Group. Starbucks introduced a licensing model for the Malaysian market. Starbucks Malaysia is a license of Starbucks Coffee International, wholly owned by Berjaya Group, and is not for sale. An agreement between two parties, a licensor and a license, is what is meant by licensing. The licensor, who owns intellectual property, grant the license permission to use their property in exchange for a license fee. In a nutshell, license is when you allow others to sell your products. In contrast, my franchise strategy for growing the GJC market differs significantly from that of major rival Starbucks, which does not franchise its location. 4 of the 13 shops are owned by run by franchises, while my franchise owns the remaining 7. My franchise wants to find more innovative business owner to run its corporate location, as my franchise demonstrates that the franchise can successfully operate and that the chosen location is adventurous. The failure rate of franchise will be reduced through this strategy. GJC operates using a franchise business model. In the case of franchising, you, the franchisor, provide permission to a different individual, the franchise, to launch and run a branch of your company in return for a fee. This franchise gets your authority to replicate your whole business activities after paying this charge. While licensing and franchising are perceived to have similar business models, they actually have various entry strategies and are separate sort of business models. The entry strategy of GJC differs from Starbucks since both companies have different business model. GFC is a franchising company, while Starbucks is a licensing company, and because of this.
For question number 5, my franchise's localization efforts have been quite good and effective in drawing Malaysians. Despite being in the market testing phase, Gloria Jeans Coffee has a very favorable and promising customer reaction. And this is a good starting point and a feature of Gloria Jeans Coffee that may make it stand out above competing brands. Because Kopitiam offers a comparable offering, which is a good combination of local and foreign food, and for less expensive but still delicious coffee in a very high-scale environment, Gloria Jeans Coffee still remains competitive. The localization's efforts done by KFC and McDonald's brand are far more appealing to Malaysians and even those outside of Malaysia. McDonald's worldwide process utilized a global localization approach, comprehending the culture of a multiracial society with local taste and food culture from a fast food firm type by American fast food culture.